Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this information session on Certified Global FP&A Professional. I see that there are also a couple of students who have already joined CGFPA. Welcome to them as well. Basically, this session is about the FP&A certification, right? Why FP&A is important today? I did a recent CFO survey, and there's an interesting statistic that came forward. 79% of the CFOs said that they generally find it difficult to spot the right FP&A talent, right? Which means there is a lot of demand for FP&A, but there is not enough people. There's not enough right skill sets. And to some extent, the the work in FP&A that we do is all experiential in learning, right? They're not taught to you in your accounting qualifications like your CA, CPA, CMA, ACCA, whatever these qualifications are. That is where experiential learning comes into play. And fortunately, today we live in the world of online training and coaches, where we can literally find a coach for everything. And you can find a breathing coach to a CFO coach to a CXO coach to a business coach. You can find all sorts of coaches available out there. So what we have done is that in the CGFPA program, Asif and I together have about close to 3 decades of FP&A experience. We have tried to sum it up, sum everything that we can into this advanced program that we are going to talk about today. Yeah. So before I'll just cover a quick roadmap of what we are going to cover today, right? So we'll first look at how FP&A as a career is becoming important these days. Why learning financial planning analysis is super important. You can support the CFO with that. A little bit about journey about FPI, why FP&A Professionals Institute was born, how it was born, and then what's our mission. And then complete information about the CGFPA program, Certified Global FP&A Professional Program. How many modules are there? How much time does it take? Eligibility, examinations, all those questions will be answered. And then we'll open for Q&A if you guys have any questions about the program or your finance career in general. Before we begin, a little bit about us. My name is Dhaval Parvatikar. I'm a qualified chartered accountant. I've also completed my 1-year executive management program from IIM Ahmedabad. Over the last 15 years, I've worked in diverse sectors from oil and gas, software, advertising, and public relations. And I also worked in a shared services of a global commodity trading company as well. I'm now the co-founder and lead faculty at FP&A Professionals Institute. I'm based in Dubai and have mentored more than thousands of chartered accountants and finance professionals. Over the last 5 years, I've been an active online instructor, and I've trained more than 5,000 professionals on various topics like financial planning and analysis, data storytelling, business partnering, presentations, right? All of these multiple concepts. Yeah. I'm joined by my partner today, Asif Masani. One thing I can definitely share about Asif and me is that we are extremely passionate about helping finance professionals upskill. That's where our synergy comes into play, and I'm happy to partner with Asif on these programs. Asif, over to you for a quick introduction.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much. So quickly introducing, I mean, myself. So overall, I have 14 plus years of experience working mostly in corporate and FP&A roles. And I've worked in different industries, including banking, pharma, and edtech. So most recently, I used to lead the FP&A team of APAC and India at Coursera. And just a year back, we founded, or we were already working on it for a couple of years on the side on the weekends. But then in November of 2023, which is about a year back, we went into this full time and incorporated FP&A Professionals Institute. So I am now the co-founder and the lead faculty at FPI, which is FP&A Professionals Institute. Also, I've written a couple of books on FP&A, which have been bestsellers on Amazon in the accounting, management accounting, and the cost accounting category. So these are those two books, all about FP&A and from accounting to FP&A. And over the last 2.5 years, me and Dhaval have been working together on FP&A trainings. So uh, we'll talk about the FP&A Professionals Institute's journey in the next slide. So maybe we can talk more on that. Thanks,
Great.
Dhaval. So
Great. Happy to partner with you, Asif. See, both of us have close to 3 decades of experience in FP&A across various sectors. Right? I have worked in 4 or 5 different sectors. Asif has worked in 4 or 5 different sectors. So combined, we bring in a lot of experience in the FP&A field. And that's what brings us together, and we're extremely passionate about helping finance professionals upskill themselves. You know, and our alumni have been benefited with a lot of our programs. They've been able to transition from an accounting and a tax kind of a profile to a FP&A role as well. A little bit about journey of FPI so far. So back in 2018, I launched my first FP&A Foundations course, which is available on Udemy and on our portal as well. 2018, when I started teaching, and FP&A Foundations was my first course. This is a self-paced course which covers all the basic requirements, basic necessities of understanding what the FP&A landscape is and how FP&A roles are. 2022 is when Asif had published his best-selling book all about FP&A. That is when we kind of decided to come together and uh, plan out a detailed program for FP&A. That is when we launched our program called FP&A Masterclass, which some of you might have undergone. This is a 4 weeks program where we cover all the core concepts like budgeting, forecasting, management reporting, storytelling, business partnering. All of those things are covered in these 4 weeks programs. 23 is when we moved, and by the way, FP&A Masterclass is now a super successful program, and we are now doing the 14th batch currently, which is ongoing. In 2023, a lot of people gave us the feedback that we won't be able to attend live sessions because of time zone differences or whatever the case might be. So they asked us to launch a self-paced course. That's when we launched our 8 weeks FP&A Launchpad course, which is a self-paced version. And again, covers all the core concepts that are required for FP&A. Once FP&A got established, people came back and started asking for allied courses and Power BI, right? So that's when we also launched our Power BI course and also Master Financial Modeling course, which has been successful, and I believe 8th batch is currently running, which Asif runs himself. 2024 is when we kind of went into this full time, or end of 2023 is when we went into this full time, and we launched our 6 months detailed certification program called Certified Global FP&A Professional. Asif, you want to just touch upon 2024?
Yes. So 2024, Dhaval also joined me full time. So he left his CFO role and he joined me in early 2024. So the reason we both came into this full time is for uh, giving time to the FP&A certification program, which is a CGFPA 6 month certification program. And we worked on this extensively from, I think, uh, over 8 months now. So we started working on this November last year, and we launched our first cohort in May end of 2024, and that cohort is about to graduate in November 2024. And this is the second cohort that we will be starting in October. So that is what we've been working on. So majority of our last 8 to 10 months have been spent on or have been invested in creating the curriculum for the CGFPA program. And now the curriculum is ready, and the first batch is about to graduate in November 2024. Along with that, I also had uh, over 20 interviews with people who have successfully transitioned into FP&A roles from accounting and audit roles, and that's where all of those are now. All of those uh, insights I summarize in this book, which is From Accounting to FP&A, which was published 2 months back in July 2024. And very recently, just 2 weeks back, we launched our AI for Finance and FP&A program with in partnership with a management consulting firm. So that is what we have been doing in the last few months.
Fantastic.
And over the course of all these programs that you see, we have trained more than 3,000 students across various live and self-paced modes.
Fantastic. So you will always see Asif and me being active on LinkedIn and helping our students get to the next level in their finance careers. So under FPI, we have all levels, courses at all levels. At beginner level, we have our foundations course and 8 weeks FP&A Launchpad. Apart from that, you can also take benefit of our resume and your interview preparation sessions as well. At intermediate levels, we have FP&A Masterclass and Master Financial Modeling courses, and our AI in Finance and FP&A course as well, which are all like a blended program, and some of them are live program, and that will equip you with everything that is required for you to learn FP&A. And then there is an advanced program that we have launched, which is called Certified Global FP&A Professional, which is a 6-month program, over 100 hours of content, a lot of case studies, probably 5 to 6x more content than the intermediate levels. So that is what we'll be touching upon today about the CGFPA program. Now, before we get into the CGFPA program, right? So let me quickly touch upon the FP&A as a career, right? If you look at a typical CFO's office, all right, or the CFO function, there are two broad roles or responsibilities that the CFO needs to execute, right? One is compliance focused, where you are required to take care of the hygiene, right? You are required to take care of the accounting, the financial statements, the statutory audit, SOX audit, internal audit, all of those compliances. And the other one is the commercial side of things. Somebody needs to keep a track on the performance of the business, right? Somebody needs to understand where we are heading. What is the business unit profitability? What is the pricing that we are charging? What is the gross margin? What is the net margin? All of these commercial aspects need to be taken care of. And the CFO needs to be empowered with the right set of insights on a timely basis, with which the CFO can counsel the business teams and also take certain strategic decisions, right? That is where FP&A role comes into play. The main role of FP&A is to provide timely and accurate insights to the CFO and to the business teams so that they can take prudent financial decisions, right? Now, if we are coming from a classic accounting qualification, like a CA, ACCA, CPA, and all of these qualifications, we fairly understand the compliance bucket, right? We know how financial statements look like. We know what is a statutory audit. We know what is an internal audit. We know, right? But commercial side of things is all about experiential learning, right? Where these things like preparation of a budget or a forecast or different types of commercial analysis, these are not normally taught to us in our accounting qualifications. These are picked up on the job. Back when Asif and I started our careers, right? We did not have online courses. We did not have LinkedIn, right? We did not have coaches for everything, right? So how we learned FP&A? Like if we have to go and learn about FP&A, we have to approach our senior. And if our senior is in a good mood, he will explain to us. If he's not, then we'll probably make our share of mistakes and then live with it, right? But today, fortunately, we live in the world of LinkedIn. We live in the world of online courses, coaching, right? Where there's a option available for you to learn from the experience of senior CFOs and finance leaders, right? All these commercial aspects, which are experiential learning, you can learn from practical experience of CFOs and finance leaders. That is what we have tried to do in all our courses in FPI. Every course that you see is not theoretical at all. Every course is backed by solid examples, case studies, group discussions, because we believe that we need to train if Asif and I were to hire an FP&A team member today, how can we bring that person quickly up to speed within a 3 to 4 week window? That is what we kept in mind when we designed our courses at FPI. Yeah, keeping that in mind, and the commercial aspect is something which you will need to learn on your own. The onus will be on you to pick it up as soon as possible. Yeah, and with the increase in data sets that is happening in the organizations today, more and more opportunities for analysis, more and more opportunities for financial planning and analysis is coming forward, right? And you need to tap into these opportunities. And for tapping into these opportunities, you need the right skill sets. That is what we have tried to do through our coaching programs at FPI. Now, coming to the advanced certification program, which is called Certified Global FP&A Professional Program. So what is Certified Global FP&A Professional Program? So let's touch upon this a little bit, right? It's a global certification in FP&A. Our curriculum is designed keeping students across the globe in mind. And we have had students from US, Canada, UK, India, Middle East, Africa, right? And you will directly learn it from CFOs and FP&A leaders, right? All of our faculty who's going to teach you are not academicians, right? So they are practitioners, practicing CFOs, practicing FP&A leaders who will come and explain it to you.
Yeah, in
We have
fact,
over
I want to add the first 10 students who have registered or who have paid for the CGFPA batch 2, the 10 students are from 8 different countries.
Fabulous. Thanks for that statistic, Asif. So all of this will be covered through 10 comprehensive modules, and we'll touch upon all those modules in a little while. All experiential sessions, we're giving you practical, real life case studies, exposures, group discussions, right? Simulations, that is what you will be provided. And you will always be part of our global alumni community. You will have access to personalized career coaching sessions as well. Asif and I will be taking certain sessions where we'll help you how to approach certain roles, FP&A roles as well. And it's not just a program, we'll all be connected after the program as well. We normally do a monthly mastermind call, right, which is a Q&A session that we do. Sometimes we bring in external speakers. Like we had a lot of external speakers coming from IBM, from Adobe. We had tool providers coming in and giving certain demos, right? The entire FP&A ecosystem is what we are planning to tap into. And that benefit will be passed on to our students, right? And you'll have access to all of the resources online through our portal, which works seamlessly, and you will get that lifetime access. And you'll have any support that is required from our end to execute these courses. Now, how much time involvement is required in these programs? The live sessions are conducted every Saturday for 2 hours, right? 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. And apart from that, like I mentioned, there is a total of 100 hours of content that you will need to be covering. You will need to set aside at least 1.5 to 2 hours every week to do your preparation, to do your pre-reading. Sometimes we will share some recordings with you. Sometimes we'll share some case studies, these things, right? And then come to the classroom. Remember, this is an executive management program, right? This is an executive program. So don't take spoon for it. You will be required to get involved in this. However, we have also made sure that it doesn't, all of them are working professionals. So we've also ensured that it does not take much of your time. So all in all, a commitment of 2 to 4 hours a week is something which is expected of you. Yeah. Now, what are some of the modules that are being covered in the CGFPA program? There are overall 10 different modules, right, which is covered in the CGFPA program. So, Asif, you want to just touch upon the first 5 modules?
Yeah, so I see a question in the chat box. We'll take that question after the slide. So let me just cover the slide. So there are 10 modules in the CGFPA curriculum, and let me talk about the ones on the left side that you see. So in FP&A Masterclass, what we did, which is the intermediate level program, is that we taught the basic concepts of how to create budgets for different parts of the business. So we taught you how to do the marketing budget, how to do the sales budget, how to do the COGS budget or the production budget. What we do in the masterclass is we take it one step, or what we do in the CGFPA is we take it one step further, and we ask you to prepare an end-to-end budget as a capstone project. So uh, it gives you the practical experience of working with real-time data or real-life data and preparing a budget. So the entire activity, the capstone project, is about 4 to 6 hours, and we make you present the budget presentation, which you actually will do when you work in FP&A roles. So we make you prepare the budget end to end, and we also make you prepare the presentations for the budget. So apart from that, we do a lot of case studies on budgets and forecasts in different industries. Along with that, different management reports, different types of management reports. So about 3 to 4 in detail examples of management report is what we cover in the CDFPA curriculum. Also, an important skill that most FP&A people should learn is financial modeling. So if you've not worked or if you've not learned financial modeling, I think adding that to your skill set will definitely increase your productivity. It will increase, it will improve your overall work that you do. So I think financial modeling is also an important part of the program, where we teach you how to do scenario planning, sensitivity analysis, how do you build different types of business models. So overall, that is what we do in the first half of the program, which is on budgeting, forecasting, reporting, and financial modeling. And we also have
Yeah.
some new modules. So these were the modules which were more or less part of our other programs, and we make it more advanced. But we also have some new modules which Dhaval will talk about, which is on the right side.
Sure, thanks, Asif. So the other modules are that, see, in any FP&A role, for that matter, you will be dealing with a lot of data, right? So data can come from multiple sources. It's not only going to be financial data, it could be HR-related data, CRM-related data, it could be contract-related data, right? So it's important for you to understand about data analytics. So that's what we're trying to cover in the data analytics module. We're giving you all the basic introductions about how you handled large volumes of data, and basics of Power BI, basics of SQL, all of that is covered. Yes, the course does not aim to make you an expert in Power BI, but it will give you enough knowledge to start building your dashboards in Power BI. Financial analysis, different types of financial analysis. See, the fundamental difference between financial analysis that you have learned in your accounting qualification is it's not just about ratio analysis, right? You are looking at ratio analysis like the debt equity ratio, the PE ratio, the EPS, all of these things are more from an external standpoint. If you're looking at the company from an external investor standpoint, but when you are within the company, kind of financial analysis, you'll have to do horizontal analysis, vertical analysis, gross margins, net margins, profitability, all those different kind of analysis needs to be taken care of, right? That's what you'll have to do. Then only you will be able to support the CFO function. And it's not just about doing analysis. It is also about how do you communicate this to the business teams. Business teams do not understand 10,000 lines of Excel sheet like we do, right? So it's important that you communicate this in an effective manner. That's where storytelling and presentation comes into play. How do you articulate your narrative? How do you articulate your data and then communicate it in the right manner to the business teams? Any strategic decision that is taken in the company by the CFO and the board cannot be proceeded without a sound financial analysis as a backing, right? That's where FP&A team comes into play. If at all certain strategic decisions are to be taken, for example, continuing the product or discontinuing the product, opening a new branch in a certain geography, right? Acquiring a certain company, or all of these kind of strategic decisions cannot happen without doing sound financial analysis. That is where strategy module comes into play, and we are covering all those core elements of where the strategy can be blended with FP&A. And then comes business partnering. It's not just about providing the right analysis, right? It's about how do you partner with the business? How do you truly collaborate with the business to influence them so that they can take prudent financial decisions, right? A lot of us as finance professionals are great at saying no, right? It's not in the budget, it's not in the forecast. But how do you truly partner with the business? You should not come across as a naysayer, but you should come across as a solution provider. Right? That's what we will be learning in the business partnering module. So all in all, 10 exhaustive modules, which will equip you with everything that you require on the commercial side or on the FP&A side, to support the CFO's office. And all of these modules are covering a lot of practical aspects as well. Now, what is the eligibility criteria for CGFPA program? You need to have a bachelor's degree or a global equivalent in finance, accounting, or business. Alternatively, you may have any of the professional qualifications like CA, CPA, CMA, CFA, CIMA, ACCA, or these equivalent qualifications. Right? We prefer that you have 1 to 2 years of work experience, but it's okay if you do not have, right? But basic accounting is expected. Basic accounting qualifications is expected. Yeah. Now, how will the CGFPA certificate be awarded? Right? There are 2 or 3 conditions, right? So one is you need to attend classes, live online classes. At least 50% of the classes should be live. And after that, you will be submitting a capstone project or an assignment, which will be given to you. And all the resources, all the handholding will be done. So don't worry about it. Once you submit the assignment and once you complete the program, you will be eligible for the final examination. The final examination will be a multiple choice questions examination, 400 marks. Okay, and at least 50% is the passing marks. And once you are able to complete the examination, then you will be awarded the CGFPA certification from FP&A Professionals Institute. Okay, so that is about the eligibility and the mode of completion or mode of being certified CGFPA professional. Right? Now, the ROI of this program, right? I leave it to your imagination. One right move, one step that you can take towards CFO position can really help you in the long run, right? So the ROI of this course, I leave it to your imagination as to how much, what percentage, what X, 3X, 5X, 10X, whatever you want to imagine, right? But the fee investment in this program is 1497 USD, 1497 USD, and this includes one exam fee as well. Yeah. And of course, there are some promotions and there is a 6-month payment plan, 5-month payment plan available as well. So all those details can be shared later. But right now, I just want to quickly cover everything that I had to share. So the course fee investment is about $1,497, right? The course duration will be 6 months, live plus recorded sessions, over 100 hours of content. You will need to show up every Saturday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. IST. Okay. And the start date will be 5th of October. 5th of October is when we will be having our first induction. And after that, we'll be starting with the sessions, right? So a total weekly commitment of, I would say 3 to 4 hours or 3 to 5 hours is something which we would be expecting from you, right? So that's about the investment in the program. Okay, some questions, we'll take 1 or 2 questions and then we can, of course, move to the chat box. Before we get into the questions, what I would definitely recommend you to do is first at least download the brochure and the application, submit your application forms, right? So because we need to first check your eligibility, the team will take some time to check your eligibility. After that, you will receive an email confirmation from us, right? And after that, you will be application has been accepted and you will be admitted into the program, right? So complete your applications before 25th of September 2024. We already have done the early bird round of applications. The first round of applications are done. The enrollments have already been completed. Already 10 students have enrolled into the program for cohort 2. Okay. And now this is the second round of applications, but make sure that you submit all the applications before 25th September. Otherwise, it might get late and you may not be able to secure a seat for yourself in the program.
Yeah,
Right.
I want to add a couple of points. So we'll take the question in the chat box. So
Yeah.
for that couple of points I want to add. So in the first round, we got about, I don't know, 70, 80 applications. We rolled out about 40 uh, eligible candidates, and from those 40, 10 people have joined. So based on the second round of applications, we may do the same procedure, and we only have 20 seats. So we will not get more than 20 students, or we'll keep the intake, or we'll keep the batch size limited to 20. So we may or we may not do the third round. So last time we did the third round, but this time I don't know if we will do the third round of applications. So just in case, if you are really serious, I would suggest you apply and you enroll by the end of this month. One another benefit of you enrolling by end of this or applying and enrolling by the end of this month is that you get to attend the masterclass, which is the intermediate program, which is a pre-read or a prerequisite uh, before just the CGFPA starts. So along with the CGFPA kicking off on 12th, so orientation is on 5th, but the first session is on 12th. So you will also be able to attend the intermediate program, which is the FP&A Masterclass Batch 14, which is ongoing right now. So you get a complimentary access to that, so that you are in line with all of the other alumni who are a part of the CGFPA. So two benefits of you joining early. One is you get the access to the Batch 14, which are 4 live sessions before the CGFPA program starts. And also, we may not do a third round of application if we get 10 students in the second round of applications. Yeah, so those were the two things I wanted to mention. And I also see a couple of people who have already enrolled here who have joined. So I think 3 people have already enrolled who are here. And also one person is here from the CGFPA 1 batch. So thanks for joining. Okay, so I think we can take questions.
Yes. So I see a couple of questions in the chat box. Maybe we should address them one by one.
Yes.
The first one is from Siva. What's the recognition of the certification? How much known is this? Maybe I can start, Asif, and you can pitch in as well. So FP&A Professionals Institute is a new institute, right? So the recognition will come over a period of time. Of course, you cannot compare it with the with a SEMA or an ACCA. Those are all 100-year-old organizations, right? Number one. Number two, what we are also saying, we are not claiming that CGFPA is a substitute for all these programs, right? A CPA or a CMA or an ACCA. No, it's a supplement to these programs. We know what they don't teach in these programs, right? And we know what is required by CFOs, right? It's not that this program has been designed by just
Mhm.
Asif and me. I've consulted more than 50 CFOs to understand whether this curriculum will benefit our students or not, right? So that is what I wanted to stress on. On the other hand, as far as the recognition is concerned, so we have already completed all the process required for NASBA recognition. NASBA is that American accounting body. On the NASBA recognition, all the application and have been completed. Um, it takes normally 4 to 6 months for NASBA to come up with their questions and complete the audit procedures and then hand over that accreditation to us. But we believe that by the end of this year, or even like way before you complete the cohort 2, you should be able to have NASPA accreditation for this.
Yeah, so NASBA is for people who are in the US and Canada. They can claim CPE credits for the CPA. And usually, uh, so what they need to do us is they ask us to have a lot of processes and systems in place which are at global standards or which are best practices in running education institutes. So we have made sure that we meet all the criteria, right from attendance tracking to LMS to having all the policies, including the refund policies and content creation policy. So there are like 10 different policies they asked us to create and make sure that we follow those policies. So all that process has happened. Now they will come and they will audit us in the next few months. And then once they are happy with the audit, and then they will give us the accreditation. So that usually takes 4 to 6 months. And we've done that 2 months back. And we expect on an average, it takes 4 to 6 months. So we expect that accreditation to come by the end of this year. On,
So, Asal,
yeah,
yeah.
go ahead.
Also, there's a connected question. I'll take that.
Yeah.
Can I claim CPD credits, example ACCA, against the sessions attended, and how many CPD hours, if yes? See, we are not yet applying for SIPFA recognition, so we are in that process of evaluating. But by the time you complete the cohort 2, even the SIPFA recognition should come in, so which should allow you to take those CPD credits for, an ACCA or a CMA or all these other qualifications as well.
Yes, but as of now, we don't have the we don't want to misrepresent anything. So as of now, we don't have the accreditation. It's all in process, and usually the process takes 4 to 6 months, and we believe it should come by the end of year, based on whatever we have heard from other education institutes who have applied in the past. Okay, so that is the okay. So that was on the recognition. Maybe we can go to the next question.
Yeah. So there's a
What
question from,
happens?
yeah,
Yeah,
go
what
on.
happens when you fail the exam? Can you retake it for free? So maybe you want to answer, or should I? Then you
Go ahead,
want to.
sir. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the first exam is free. So okay. So the first exam that you give is free. Uh, just in case if you fail, if you have attended the sessions seriously and if you put in the effort during the class, most likely you will not fail. But just in case you fail the exam, you can take it again within 3 months. So every 3 months we have an exam window, and you will have to pay a separate $100 fee for that, and that all goes to the proctor servicing. So whoever is proctoring, we pay them the $100 fee, and you will have to bear the $100 fee if you have to retake the exam. So if you want to take it, or just in case if you have registered 2 weeks before the exam, and if you miss the exam or if you fail the exam, and if you want to retake it, you have to pay a nominal $100 fee, which is actually what we pay to the proctoring organization for making sure that the exams are conducted with a proctor and with the surveillance and everything. So you'll have to pay $100 fee if you fail or if you miss the examination after registering for it.
I don't see any other questions, and I'm happy to take any if there are any more questions. While people are thinking about their questions, one thing I would definitely like to highlight here is that, see, in your finance career, right? Probably you still have 15, 20 years left in your finance career, right? There are some courses that you do for brand recognition, right? So, for example, ACCA or a CMA or a CPA, right? And there are some courses that you will have to do on your own to gain those skill sets, to gain the right skill sets, right? But today, fortunately, you have that opportunity to gain those right skill sets, right? That is where the CGFPA program comes into play, or any of the courses for that matter that are run by FPI, right? Practical skill sets is what we are planning to aim for, because we know the gaps. Now we have identified the gaps. We know what these qualifications are not teaching.
Awesome. So I think that brings us to the end. Unless there are any questions, any comments that you have, we will wrap up the session in the next 1 or 2 minutes. But we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes if there are any more questions. If you want to come on mic and ask a question, feel free to do that. Okay, so there is one question. Would you provide access to the any AI related modules? So right now the AI related modules is not a part of the compulsory curriculum of the CGFPA program. But the new program that we have launched, we are undergoing the first module, undergoing the first cohort of that, and the relevant portions we plan to make it a part as an optional module. So we do plan to make the AI portion, not the entire AI program, which is a 16-hour program, which is a separate program, but the relevant portions which are aligned with the CGFPA curriculum. Maybe it might be 6 to 8 hours of the entire 16-hour curriculum. So we plan to make that as a part of the optional module for CGFPA 2, and the CGFPA 1 students will also be part of that. So I see one
Yeah.
or two people are here from CGFPA 1, so don't worry, you will also get part. You will also
I'll
be.
just touch upon one point
uh,
that now AI has become a part of our life, right? So there's no going back from it. So you
Yes.
will notice that many times when we are explaining certain concepts, we are also taking help from AI in
Yes.
terms of whether it's using ChatGPT or whether it is using a co-pilot. That is now
Yes.
naturally coming into the curriculum. And whether you want to separately call it AI or no, the approach to solve certain problems is by design now coming through AI, which you will
Yes.
definitely notice in the materials or the
Yes.
exercises that we do.
Yes. So wherever there is a AI possibility of doing the same thing instead of doing it manually, we do definitely cover that, whether it be ChatGPT or Copilot. Access to videos, materials is for lifetime. Yes, the access to videos and material is for lifetime. So you will have access to it permanently. You will not lose access after a specific time or period. Okay, so I see three of you have already enrolled. So thank you for enrolling, Bharat, Dio, and Barbara. And look forward to kicking off this program on 5th of October. For those who have not, I would highly recommend at least you fill up the application form. And uh, if you join early, you can also be take the benefit of the complimentary intermediate program, which is the batch 14, which will prepare you for the CGFPA program. So with that, I think if there are no questions, no more comments, we will wrap up the session, and we will see you in one of the other, hopefully in the CGFPA program, if not in one of the other webinars. Right. Thank you so much, guys. Thanks for joining, and see you. Bye bye.